Hi everyone, my name is Miriam Salam and I welcome you to another exciting episode of Unscripted with Miriam Salam. And on this episode, I have Salam Abass. He's the CEO of Souvenir Republic, father of three, a husband, a son, some people's best big brother in the world. Hello, Daddy Amira or Mr. Salam. Which one did I call you? Or Bodami, which one should I call you?
Whichever one suits you, I'm ready for you.
I will just say Bodami
Okay.
for this title. So, how are you? Can you tell us a bit about yourself, growing up, the school you attended, and all of that?
Okay. I'm glad to be here and I'm happy you're the one doing this today. And I've always said this before that one day you have to do this for me. And I'm glad it's happening today, right in your face. So, hi everyone. My name is Abass Salam. I'm a young man and I'm the one in charge of Souvenir Republic. Most people don't like that. You'll be seeing my face quite in recent time.
Celeb.
So, like I said, I'm the one in charge of Souvenir Republic. So before this, I am an Ibadan boy, and I grew up in Ibadan, except for when I went to university. I think my primary school was in Command here in Ibadan, and from there I proceeded to Government College Ibadan. So I'm an old boy of Government College Ibadan. So I finished in 2001. And then from there, I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. So I studied estate management as first degree. And then from there, I enrolled for my master's degree in 2000 and I think that was 2011. No, sorry. I think I finished in Ife I finished from Ife in 2008 set. And I proceeded for my master's, which I graduated in 2016. So from there, my father wanted me to be a doctor, which never happened. So I got enrolled, but I never finished. So I would say I'm a dropout.
PhD dropout.
PhD dropout, yeah. So, and today, I worked with one of the reputable property company in Nigeria, which is Jide Taiwo & Co. So I resigned in 2018. From when I started Souvenir Republic, and that's the reason why I'm here today, and that's who I am. That's my background. I'm from a humble background, and I'm still an humble man. So that's
Obviously, because why are you saying you work at Souvenir Republic or which
the one in charge, because there are a lot of people in charge.
You say humility won't wound you. How can a CEO be saying, just say I'm the CEO of Souvenir Republic?
So there's a difference between a CEO and the one in charge. When you're a CEO, you have to stand out and be the Oga. But here I work and I'm part of the business every day. Either I'm there or I'm not there. I work as part of the business. So I'm the one in charge. Like I take the shots. When people want to complain, I'm there to receive it. And when people want to make good recommendations about the business, I'm the one to take it to. So I'm happy. And
you didn't mention the course you study at university.
So I studied estate management and then for first degree and second degree. So working in Jide Taiwo, I was a valuation officer for about 13 years that I worked there before I left. That challenged me a lot, and I'd say that's where I got my most of experience about management. And from there, I've laid my hands on so many things different from Souvenir Republic afterwards. I've lived somewhere other than this place too, so I have some couple of more management experience which I would not like to share for the purpose of this.
Okay, so since you were in the corporate world, like you said, you worked with Jide Taiwo. How did you come about being an entrepreneur?
Okay, so becoming an entrepreneur, I'll say it accidental. So the first thing is, at a point when I was working, there were some Erastus Akingbola era in Intercontinental and the banking issue. So valuation, like I said, I was in valuation. Valuation is like a department where you do collateral reports for banks. So we do valuation just to secure loans. And then post that era, things were a little bit tough. So there were so many things which I would not want to go into. So I looked at what is the next step in my life, which is... So the first thing in that order was to relocate abroad. So I started IELTS, which I tried. And as a backup, I think I was looking to establish my own estate firm, so which I did. And I was thinking, because I'm somebody that always plan and always want like 3 options. So the third one was to go into a business like a supply chain. So I took a space, which is the third option. So my first was to japa. And the second one, which I started working towards in 2018 when I was leaving my job. So the second one was to establish an estate firm, which I did with my friend Aderogba Mohammed. The signboard is still in front of my office now. And the third one was to establish a business, a supply chain, where I have to come in, buy stuff, then supply to people in the market. And here today we have Souvenir Republic. So I started that. And the last overtook the first two. So Japa came eventually in 2022, which I was reluctant to go. And then the estate business, I think I quit in 2021, I think after COVID. That was when I said, because I was looking at what was coming from the property business, management of properties, and I felt, I'm more in love with
The business.
the business over property management. So I think I just invited some few colleagues or friends. They should take over the property that I have in my portfolio, and I started doing the business, which became Souvenir Republic. I know maybe by chance my friend that we both formulated this Souvenir Republic, because it was just in the office that day and I was looking to register a business, and I'm like, let's do this, let's do that. And I gave him a name and he said, I think this one rings more bell. And today, Souvenir Republic has become a brand that everybody knows and wants to associate with.
Talking about being reluctant about Japa, why were you reluctant and what made you make that decision that, okay, let's go?
So in 2022, I was already in love with the business. Though during COVID, we faced a lot of challenges, business is about profit and loss. We had our own challenging time. And but I didn't want to leave the business because everybody was of the opinion that if you leave, the business will fail. So I didn't want the business to fail. Eventually, when I think you were one of them too, that felt, you abroad, and this place, I don't want to mention that place, you didn't want to go. So I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. So I located my family, came back. My family was struggling, I had to go back. I came back again, my family was struggling, I had to go back. And at the point, I had to stay for a while. So I stayed for a while, and those ideas started coming. And I'll tell you, I'm a management person abroad too, so I've seen a lot of things which I wish. And I remember the first day I walked into Costco, I'm like, wow. And I asked the question, does someone own this place? I said, and I told God, one day I will have a space like this. And just today, somebody was telling me, they sent me a video we did on Saturday, and I was like, you are replicating Walmart in Ibadan, and I'm happy. So that made me more happy. And we're not there. We still have our shortcomings. Like, it's a new brand that is going big, and hopefully we'll get our tracks together and be more refined, and seamlessly people can buy stuffs. So that's just that about that.
Okay, but you could have chosen another niche. Why souvenir and kitchen utensils?
Okay, so it didn't start out as kitchen utensils and household items. So I'd say this is the side, some people that knew me pre the business. So my mom happens to be in this niche too. She's into importation. She does back to school items and everything. So I started with back to school, but my quest or my hunger for success, because I look at it. So my mom is in a different market where this kind of back to school and some packaged items move. But kitchen utensils sells more in Ogunpa, where I started this business, and that quest to be successful made me think out of the box. I remember the first time I told my mom that I wanted to do mini electronics. She was like, like the kitchen, the bottles at the food flask. But I know, and there was a day recently that we were chatting, and she said, and I said, what? She said, limited by what I told you, and I'm happy. So I started with back to school, and gradually we added some. I remember, I think rationing was the first item, and it took me 7 months to add rationing because they gave me a target that time that for a first time buyer, I needed several million then, and I couldn't afford it. So each time I keep trying. And I think the breakthrough came when one cooperative society came and just wanted to buy bulk. And I'll tell you, I had to sell at the cost price just to break that barrier of accessing that company. And so this is for younger people. Sometimes it is not every business you make money. So the first one I did, I never made any dime from that, and it's been from glory to glory from that first breakthrough. And though there are challenging times,
But do you think your business is more successful because mommy laid the foundation for you?
well, I would not want to undermine the influence. Like, so my first China trip was through her. We had to go to China together. But as at then, I can't remember. I think after paying my airfare, like for my ticket and accommodation, I think I was left with little. And I'm somebody that has ojukokoro for items. And one thing about China is you'll be confused when you get there. And that is on one side. The second thing is what you like might not resonate well with people. So I bought things I like that people don't like.
So how did you sort that out?
It has to stay on my shelf for a long time. So we're selling slowly. Some eventually got destroyed or damaged on our shelf, but some made it to the final, like people. So sometimes some people will just fall in love with what everybody doesn't like. So that's what we call uniqueness. And so to some people, it's just a common thing or it's not acceptable. So it depends on the side of the coin that you are or the side of this thing that you are. So that determines, but it took a longer while and it ties your capital down. But that was a learning curve for me. So, because I remember our first trip, she was telling me, no, so my mom is somebody that does 2 carton, 1 carton. So she likes varieties over volume. So I'm like, I want volume over varieties. So she was looking at me, and when I exhausted my money, she was like, Shoti no where tabai. So tabati lo next place. I'm like, okay. So when I followed her to like 2 different that she was buying, he said, okay, Kogbo, ori everything, Overa, I thought she know to cover in 2 days. I will still have 2 weeks. So later, she helped me and she called somebody, but she's a very shrewd businesswoman. And I'll tell you, that has really been a great strength for me because, so I'll say this to people. Most people think my mom helped me in terms of finances or something. She has been a supportive person, but when my mom wants to give you anything, is not for free. She will tell you. And I remember that day she said, Tabati de Nigeria. Owó tó kọ́kọ́, owó tí mo bá yá ní cooperative yìí, òun ló gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sọ tó bá ti tajà o. You understand? So, and I think I can't remember then, maybe it was just 2.5 million. And she said, and when we got home, that was the first money I had to pay. When she tells you something like, you don't do it, next time you're not going to get anything from her. So I remember the first time I took my first loan from First Bank, she was like, oh, I made sure I perfected all the thing and the money has been released to me. So I told her, Mom, Ogba loan bank. And she was like, oh, Ogba loan. So after about 2 years, she was like, the first time. So after 2 years, I think she needed one money very fast. And I told her, I have an established relationship with these people. And she said, no, that we have to do clearing, no, before next tomorrow. I said, with the account, they should be able to give us. And I said, Mokakwe Bankani. And they said, she was there with me in the car. And they said, we can get the money, that everything is set in my account, that we can get the money secondly. So we had 2 shipments that came in at the same time. And we were expecting them maybe poles apart, but they came at the same time, sometimes. So, and we called and they said we can get the money the second day. And she was like, but just to the call I thought so, and I was like, and she said, so that was when she started believing in me that I can do it. And from there, I opened a lot of frontiers, from kitchen utensils to household items to bulk items like washing machine, fridges, freezers, and everything. And there we are today. And alhamdulillah, we thank God.
Do you also work abroad?
Yes.
And how do you manage the timing and in Souvenir Republic? And why do you work there? Souvenir Republic is big enough. Why do you have to work there? And what is the main reason you japa?
Family.
Yes. What about family?
So I want to explore other frontiers. I want to see how things are being done. And now, I think you can't take away my management experience abroad to what is happening here. So exposure is something one needs in what you do in terms of business, life, family, and how you relate with people. So I think most of these things that you see that I replicate here are things that I've seen across the world. So I've had in Nigeria. So Souvenir Republic is a touch of what you see abroad and the behavioral pattern of people here. You have to merge the two for it to be where it is. So I wouldn't want to say, because when people say success, so being successful is not about making sales every day. Successful is when you reach your goals and you're happy that you set up a place and people walk in and they are happy at the end of it. So that's why I said it's a whole lot of things in that. So working abroad, for you to pay your bills, you have to work. So, but also, there are two separate things. So it is not as people think, because we sell with a minor margin. So, and that's why you see everybody flocking in. I still had somebody, he was still in my store today. And from what he said, he was surprising his wife, and he bought that item last week, 109,000. And we thought it's just 43,000. So it was wild. And just today, he came in with a sales for like 7 offices in his building, in his business. So that's what I want. I want you to come in happy. The process should be seamless and you spend the best for us. That's also, but managing the business, that has taken my ton of flesh, blood, sweat, and even water.
It's how do you manage it?
You have to shuttle in between 2 time zones, which is about 7 hours. Sometimes it could be 6, sometimes it could be 7. So most times I stay awake.
You don't sleep?
Not too much. And if you're not careful, at a point I had to start reading about people that had made it in life. I think I've read so many books. I've read CEO 1.0, I've read CEO 2.0, I've read the latest of $10 book, because I wanted to see how he's managing his life. It's not something I want to share, because the only thing I would say is I want to give kudos to my wife. It's been a whole lot of things. Like, I've not been present, but now I think I want to turn a new leaf. So, and now I know she's happy that eventually my sleepless night, she can physically see what that has been for. So now I think, I just hope things are still intact in my body, that now when I want to rest, I can rest and then just take it behind it. Yeah, not enjoy, but at least maybe catch more sleep. And when something is in the process, like you're incubating, it takes a whole lot of things. But you can't have a baby without being pregnant. Yeah. And pregnancy comes with so many things. You need to get married. There must be a woman. And there must be a willing consent to have sex. And from there, you have a pregnant. And the woman must carry the baby for 9 months or close. And in that process, so that's what I see it as. But I'm happy. I challenged myself, and now I see the results. Even if the money is not coming, people think I'm rich, but I'm not. That's the truth. Yeah, I'm not rich. I'm still aspiring to be rich. That's why I'm reading about books.
How is parenting abroad?
Do you want us to talk about family or business?
You want to fuse everything.
Yes, how is parenting abroad? I have my own understanding of it, and probably because I'm a pan-Nigerian person, abroad is nice. It's good. But it's challenging raising kids because of the freedom thing. It's a whole lot of ball game. And kids, especially when they are age 7, 8, 9, 10, going to high school, it's a whole lot of things that I wouldn't want to go to for the purpose of this interview. It's a whole lot. But I think I'll tell people it's easier to raise kids in Nigeria than abroad. Oh, all those glamour you see, it's not as it is. It's a whole different ball game. And that's why you see here, when you see your kids on dreads, tattoo, with those piercing, those we call, you see like it's a social vices or something. But there, it's a norm. So, and apologies to people of faith, but I see, I'm a Muslim, and there are some things that goes wrong, like they are not in conformity with my religious belief. Piercing for a man is not acceptable. Tattoo for anybody is not permissible. Going on dreads and all those things. But these things are things some liberal people will see as a norm. And just imagine your kid show up one day and tells you he wants to go on dread. Or why can't he do it? And you have to keep explaining why he or she can't do those things. Piercing for ladies is fine, but there are some spots where you can't pierce. I think your tongue is not permissible. Your nose is. You can do some lot of piercing. So parenting, I'll just conclude by saying, nǹkan tó wà ní Nigeria kò sí láàbroad. Nǹkan tó wà láàbroad ò sí Nigeria. It now depends on the divide that you want to stand. That defines what you think and what you believe. But for me, as a Muslim, a faith-based person, I would say I love Nigeria more. I love Nigeria more.
Okay, so what is one of your biggest challenges in business?
Like I said in my previous interview, staffing. But setting this place up is a challenge too now. But surmounting that challenge is a big thing for me. I'll tell you, our shelves came in on Thursday, and we have to deliver that space on Saturday. We have to work. I left that store on Thursday and Friday at 3 a.m. just to catch some sleep and be back by 6 a.m. So that's one of the most recent challenging things. But something that has been challenging and I've not seen a perfect solution to it is staffing. You won't know the mindset of your staff if he's not going to show up tomorrow. And sometimes they gang up, do meeting, maybe one of them wants to do something and they just disappear. So, the Nigerian system the Nigerianness is affecting businesses too, which I feel I'm not an exemption. Ask anybody that has a business or set up something, they will tell you, I think staffing is one. So maybe because we are trying to standardize things now, and also I'll tell you, our former space doesn't attract the like minds that I needed for the business. So maybe the new space, I've seen a lot of people strolling that they want to work for us now. So everybody wants to work in the official corporate setting. And I think my old staffs are even glad to tell people that this is where they work now. So taking that challenge on by investing in that space should solve a couple of problems that I've been facing on this business in a while.
Do you also deal with staff theft?
So theft is like a general thing in any business. Staff theft, customer pilfering from shelves. In fact, the one we are dealing with, we've had to manage, like in just 3 days that we opened the mall space, we've had theft. Like somebody had to come from the underground parking, that people with flowing kaftans are keeping things under there. So we're taking steps ahead of that. We're ahead of the game because we are looking to install a scanner very soon. So that is just to be ahead of them, because, when I look around in the mall, I see most businesses, why are they failing? So somebody just mentioned theft too. Maybe theft killed the biggest brand in that building. And I look at it, why are most businesses failing here? But I don't want to fail. So I have to mitigate against their failures just to be successful. So that's why I said I'm an aspiring successful man.
Okay, so those staff, do you just send them away or you arrest them, or what do you do? What is one thing? I remember one that you did that some people were stealing your stuff and taking it to the markets and they were selling at cheaper prices and all of that.
Yeah, so it involves a whole lot of things. I had to take them to the police station, and eventually they had to plead and bargain to pay me. So they were paying in piecemeal. You know how the law system is, and people start telling you what is the value, compare if you charge them to court, our judicial system will take this long, and all those things. So eventually they agreed. And recently I remember the most trusted one. Like there's one that I would never have believed would have stole from me, because I gave him everything, every support. And he called me recently to seek for forgiveness. I asked him, do you have challenges in life? And they said I'm the one behind it. He said no, it's just said he wanted to be free in his mind. And he called back and said, have I forgiven him? I said, well, for me, I'll leave that to God. I was disappointed. And it's one thing I don't play with. Like, I like honesty a lot. And anybody that has come across me, if you had said, nobody can even say maybe I cheated them or done something. So honesty is something I take very seriously. And if you're honest with me, I'll value it till the rest of my life. Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave business for now and let us talk about love.
Love.
Yes, now, how did you meet your wife and how long have you been married?
I think I met my wife in 2004 and I was my friend in school. So a friend.
You went to the same OAU?
Yes, we went to the same. Coincidentally, we finished from the same department, but different sets. So she was my year junior.
Okay.
So and she happens to be the younger sister of an acquaintance to my friend. So and I think the brother got an admission into Ife. I think that was 2005. So the brother was supposed to stay somewhere. So they were looking for somebody to stay with. And they brought their brother to my friend and their friend. So I think at the point they were leaving, that was when I was coming back to my hostel. So I saw them and one thing led to the other. And that's how we started since 2004. I think we started the real thing in 2005 and we got married in 2012.
That's 7 years.
7 years. So okay. 2012 official, like what we did normal Muslim Akito in 2011 and 2012 because the dad wanted her to finish service before we got married. Right. So yeah, and it's been blessed with kids and we're happily married.
You're happily married.
Happily married, yes.
Okay, so what advice will you give young entrepreneurs coming up?
Never lose focus.
Did you ever lose focus?
Focus, yes. Because I remember, so I'll share this. I think there was a time, the first time I took a loan was 2 million. So the next one, they gave me 3 million first bank. And the next one, they moved it to 5. And the next 10. It was a short-term loan, but I wasn't prepared. Prepared in terms of spacing, staffing, and everything. So I remember then, because I had much more money, I would run to companies because I'm an involved businessman. So I do a lot of running around. So when I go to companies, before I come back, my staffs, like they were 2, they would have sold off receipt items. So unfortunately for them, one person came to buy, I think the product was 13,500. And they now told the woman 15,000. So the woman said, okay, I know when NSR comes, we can always take my refund. So they sold the item and the woman just saw me after 2 weeks and said, mo wá sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ yín mo dẹ̀ rajà pé 15,000 náà ta ọjà yẹn fún mi, but mo ti ní tá bá ríra èló lọ́jà yẹn mo ní 13,500. So I went back and checked the receipts. I didn't see any record of that 15,000. 10 items sold. That's 150,000. Not any history of it and I asked the first person and he said, mo gbàgbé. It was in my pocket at home that he left the money. So unknowing to him, they were 2 and the woman told me they were the 2 salespeople I had. So I just challenged the other girl that anybody loan wa raja, and I didn't see the history of it in my record. And she said the other guy said they should sell it and take the money. So that was how I brought them. So, and from there, I started looking inward. And since that day, I said, I have to go on app for my inventory. And I'm somebody that doesn't shy away from investing in what will make the business a successful one. From getting the capable hands, investing in apps just to sell, just for me to maintain a proper inventory. So, and that has been the core strength of the business that has developed to wherever you see. It depends on what you want to define the business as. So that's it.
Okay. So just don't lose focus.
Don't lose focus and be determined. And whatever you see, nothing is insurmountable. Like, I don't think there's anything I cannot do for myself just to achieve my aim. And one thing is, for whatever thing you see outside there, is just...
A price was paid.
Yes, a price was paid, but I was doing it. I was just doing my thing. No hard feelings. And one thing is, I never compete with people. I've seen people come to me because this person is selling this thing. No, I don't do competition. Unethical one. The only thing I do is, I listen to my suppliers, I listen to my customers, and when they tell me, SR, can you add this? SR, we need this. When I see the request, I just work on it. I immediately act on it. And from there, it's been one thing to the other, and that has what. So for the younger generations, the sky is your limit or a starting point. Just try as much as possible to be focused. When I say focus, grace is first thing. Focus, determination, and just do your thing. Don't compare yourself to anybody. That's just it. That's just it. I know if anybody had seen, like I was one of the child in our family that nobody would have seen in this business now, because I know I have more sisters and my sisters goes to the store more than I do. I think I was just in the store maybe in GS3. My dad never wanted this but I'm not the only one.
Entrepreneur now.
Yeah, maybe.
As it should be.
Well,
as
maybe.
my own one.
Yeah, maybe. So
how many staff did you start with?
I remember the first time I wanted to take my first staff that I'll pay 1,000. I am in Jabba me like I was scared. So I would say we started with one. From one family member started. You joined too. Ahmed joined, Rakib joined, and from there we added Miriam. And
yeah, Miriam.
No,
I was just opening different Miriams for you.
Different Miriam. Like I had 2 Miriams. And I think there was another one too. I can't remember her name. She was my first staff. So I think, and I've seen strong women in this business, like staffs. Very strong, fantastic staffs.
Okay, a very honest answer now. So, we were working, I was working with you before I got married. Mm-hmm. And after I got married, I said, I'm not doing it again. I need time for my family.
It was painful.
How did you feel? You've not even let me land it. How did it make you feel?
Well, so later in life, I had to learn that people have to move on. But the time you were getting married, I was happy. Like, I was happy for you. But I was like, I was going to lose a core strength in my business and somebody I can trust that is reliable. So that part of me, but I knew you were moving on to great things. So always finding a replacement for a good person is the most difficult thing in business, But sometimes you have to just let them go for you to rediscover another person, because there are so many good people there. But when it is family, I feel not so good losing them. But I didn't lose you. Now you have transited into something. So now you work for us again, but indirectly anyways.
But even though I am not at the store, mm-hmm. I'm still very much available.
Yes.
It still feels like I work for you. Because there is no time you ring me and I don't reply immediately when it comes to Souvenir Republic.
No, it's not Souvenir. It's Salam Abass that you're working for, not Souvenir Republic. Maybe the brand, or because you are respecting me through the brand, Sha. But I'll say, yes, you have been accessible. I can always talk to you. And you give me your idea. So most times we don't agree on content or what you think. But sometimes you win, sometimes I win. So it's a win-win game most times. So it's been good. You have been part of the business. And I'll tell you, your first official paid video was something that brought us to limelight, that blew us too. So, and I know it was a whole lot of things. You have actually tried for the brand, and that video is still pinned on our page. That helped us.
All the videos I have made for Souvenir Republic blew.
But as somebody that you are trying to match now, yes,
it's because I've not made my own video at that place.
Okay, let's wait for you. But there's one that we have almost 200,000 views now. So let's see if you can beat it.
You should not fail my hand. Every time I post about Souvenir Republic, let it blow up.
Okay. So algorithm will do that for you and not human beings.
No, my community members will do it for me.
Okay.
Once they start like this,
I'll challenge you. So if you give me 1 million views, I'll do something reasonable.
Okay. I get that.
When I say reasonable, it must be reasonable. So
I trust you.
Okay.
So staying abroad, I'm sure we have a family member at the store that that you can trust.
Yes.
Do you think, because most of the businesses I know, as they go abroad like this, they think they fail. So do you think having Mr. Ahmed at the store, our cousin, has really helped? Like that is one of the major reasons the business is still standing, or it is your structure?
No. So for you to say anything structure, you need a figure. So structure is like something built around a figure, right?
Yeah.
So Ahmed is the arrowhead, and he has been supportive. He's a very rigid person when it comes to things, But I'll tell you, his honesty is top notch. And I give kudos to him. He has been the constant behind the the trajectory the business has been through. So I built the business around him, but at the time I saw it was taking his whole life. Ahmed doesn't have a different life from the business. He's always focused on what he's doing. But you know, as a young man, he needs to do other things for himself. So one thing that we have done, over the years is we bring in people for different purposes, which is why we have moved from our 4 staff. I think we are close to 30 something now. Direct staff. So, and we have the delivery channel, our riders, their indirect staffs, and our security personnel, they are outsourced. So that is, so if you match that, we're getting close to 40. And before I left today, I see we need more point of sales. So we're adding 2 tomorrow, which makes it 6. Just for it, the experience is we have to make it seamless for people to buy. If you are getting good price, you must get that good experience to buying from us. So, and that's where we are working to, or what we are working towards. So Ahmed has been the major. So in between the two, the figure and the structure, I invest in structure, but I have to invest in people too. So, and the supportive system Ahmed has is also a factor that made the business where it is. So structure over figure, figure over structure. I think the two is intertwined. So I'll just say, let's just put it that way, simple.
Okay, thank you. So another question I have now is, you know, when we were all getting married, how did it make you feel?
Like, my sisters?
Or your brother? Okay, now the only brother you have is married.
We were all getting married. Honestly, do I really care? Because I already left my father's house. So I knew everybody was going to go along and go away. And
so like there is a way it should make you feel like, oh, this small girl is now, she's now having a baby.
I was once a small boy too. So, and I got married, I moved on. So I expect you, even you getting married, like my sisters, made me happy because I knew, and maybe if you are trying to get your own experience, I had 2 before you. So they are all married. So maybe, and Busy moved, yeah, she moved abroad and Wumi is there. So, and yours was the last. No different feelings. And one thing is, you know, if you study me very well, the moment I became busy, I'm not the brother that really talks with my siblings like that. If it is not necessary, when we have something to discuss about, I only call when necessary. We talk with my chat, but when we have the real talks is when we have something that we are doing together. And I'm grateful. All my siblings, they have not been problematic to me. They have their own life. They are doing fine. So it's quite easy. And I think at every strata of my life, I'm always busy. I've always been busy. So I don't look at those things. Once you tell me you want to get married, I'll be looking for how to support your marriage so that you go to your husband's house and the rest will be for him.
But when the first child, how do you handle it?
Pressure.
Because knowing you, I know you are the only person that has this
connection with family.
If some people are looking for me, they cannot reach me. But if they are looking for Rakib, they cannot reach Rakib. But if they are looking for you, they will reach you. How do you balance it? How do you make yourself available, like mentally and emotionally prepared for whatever it is they want to talk about?
Sometimes it can be pressurizing. You know, people have their demands. But one thing is, like I said, I'm a religious faith-based person. So I work by the tenets of my religion, which is Islam. And that's my affiliation. I am accessible. And I've had one of my friends tell me, at my level, my staff shouldn't have this much access. But I think that's just who I am. And I believe connecting with people. And I will tell you, I think recently when we had this thing, I had my government college old school boys around. So the person that leased my current space to me was a former friend from school, from uni. And like that. And people, the relationship is always there. Even if we don't talk, when you see status, WhatsApp had made it easy. So I still connect with whoever I've come across in my life. So this I put into my family life too. So everybody is the family, can reach me, we can talk. Maybe the very naughty ones, you always find a way to tell them what you don't have, you can't give. Because I know maybe the question will lead to, how do you manage the financial this thing? Yeah. I'd say God has been gracious to me. So the little I have, I give. The ones I don't have, I tell you, I can't give. So that's just it. So I'm an accessible person. That's just it. So,
okay. But do you think, like now we are 5, and I am here, Wumi is there, Rakib and Bisa are there. Do you think relocation, Japa, caused any distance between us? Or
no.
What is your own view about it?
No, I'm here today, and that's why I'm here with you.
Okay.
So whenever I feel
when was the last time you saw Bisi?
That's about a year ago.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Rakib?
That's about 2 or 3 years. Rakib was living in my house now. So I saw him maybe about 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years. No, that's not 2 or 3 years ago. That's about 4 years ago, over 4 years ago. But WhatsApp made life easy. Like we talk on the phone, you can do video calling. And the most important thing is just to hear people's voice. And you're happy you're hearing from them, which is the connection. I think the family is stronger. I was even watching a video on TikTok that maybe some siblings around the world are doing this teacup challenge. Yeah. I was going to mum the idea to you before you say, what are you got to like TikTok? So I was looking.
You spend most time on TikTok.
On TikTok, now. Yeah, because I get so many ideas from there.
Okay.
And that drives me, and I see things. You know, when you go to TikTok, you see lots of young people that are actually making it in life. You just see somebody started from a small store and they are building 3 floors, and you feel like, and
I think you should even educate people about trying other channels apart from Instagram, because you don't use much of Instagram. You blew up on Facebook and TikTok more. So, and you know, there are some people that they want to be aesthetically pleasing, you know, and all of that because they want to sell on Instagram. So Instagram is not the only channel.
I think Instagram is for refined people.
Okay.
And that's where, well, it depends on what works for you. For me, I tried Instagram for 2 years and I was spending money on ads. I never got anything. The moment I latched on Facebook, boom.
You blew up.
And TikTok now, TikTok. Like everybody tells you, we saw you on TikTok, we saw you on TikTok, we saw you on TikTok. And so, and why? Why do I have to stay on Instagram? I'll just go to TikTok where things are happening. So that's it.
All right. I think that's for this segment, we are done. Now, for the other segments, we are going to be playing games. I'm sure our siblings are going to be watching this video. So now I'm going to be asking questions. Whoever fits in, we mention the name together.
Okay.
Are you ready? So yeah, let's go. Who is most likely to be late to every event?
To every event. Out of my siblings. Honestly, I don't know that part too. But Wumi is a very gentle person. I'm not sure how, you know, like when you guys were growing up, when you're becoming full-grown women, I was not really there. I had moved out. So I don't really know. Into my pedi events. Okay, I think from my recent experience, I think I'll pick you.
Because I'm a mother of 2 now.
Yes, you keep saying that, but every one of you has a child now, so it's normal. So I think you have been late to 3 events that I invited you for. Maybe now my punctuality sense is a bit different because of people I work with. So I'd say naturally in Nigeria we always be late. So
it's me.
It's you. Okay.
Who is most likely to forget birthdays?
For me. Me. I don't even remember my birthday. And the funny thing is, just recently, like people would not know I was born in January. I was available here. I don't celebrate birthdays. So anyway, that's me.
Who is most likely to start a fight over small things?
Over small things. Fight. I don't think I have.
No, like an argument over small things.
I get triggered easily when things are not done. If I had corrected you once. But do I have anyone?
I don't think it's you. I think it's... You say it first.
Anyone that would...
I think it's Auntie Wumi because she's sensitive.
But she doesn't voice out. She doesn't voice out.
I think because she's sensitive.
Maybe I would say that. Maybe.
Okay, let's see. You must get this one. Who is most likely to laugh at a serious comment or serious moment?
Serious moment. You are busy.
He's busy.
You are busy. Serious moment. Yes, you are busy.
He's busy, not me. I'm still learning. Okay. Who is most likely to fake being nice?
Fake being nice. I think I'll still... You are busy. Fake being nice.
Our face will tell it too.
No, fake being nice. I think it's you or BCO.
So we are the bad children of the family.
Well, I think you have the same traits. Yes, I think you have almost the same traits. Only that she doesn't have this influencing trait in her.
Okay, so who is most likely to block a sibling on WhatsApp?
You.
But Rakib no man block. Oh.
Maybe because I've not been having conversation. And the funny thing is, me and him, we seldomly talk. So I don't really know, but he's somebody that is not available. You can't access Rakib anyhow, I think. So it is when he needs you for blocking. I think four of you are not different anyways.
Who is most likely to relocate and not tell anyone?
Relocate?
And not tell anyone.
I don't think I have any sibling like that. To not tell anyone. I don't think I have anyone.
Who is most likely to cause a family meeting? That the person will do something like this. Family meeting.
BC.
It's not me, thank God.
BC.
Who is most likely to spend money recklessly?
I think that would be me.
You. I was thinking it's BC.
BC will not have. BC cannot match it.
Yes. But you have it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for making this episode really fun.
Then I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you want to get that too?
Let's go.
Okay, so what do you have to say about me? 2 years ago or 5 years ago and now? And do most people know I'm your brother?
Everybody that cares to listen knows you are my brother.
Okay. So
at every chance I can say you are my brother.
Okay. So are you proud of me?
Okay. The first question you asked. What was that question again? Let me process it. Like what
do you think of me 5 years ago and now?
I think you have grown so much.
I
think your chest is now broader. Like you know when you started Souvenir Republic, I was at Mommy's store. Mommy said, you understand?
Which I was reluctant.
Because you don't think I could do it?
No, because I don't want people to attach. The first person they offered me was my wife, which I said no. So, and after that, they said, oh, to bagba yawe, Mariam Bodo tele. And I felt, you have the strength, so you can come. But I didn't want people to attach the success to my mom being in the business. At the time when I first got to Ogopa, people were saying manager. They were calling me manager. Like my mom came to plant me. But after that, when they started seeing things I do differently from us, and they now started believing in me. So that's the more reason. I know you have the strength. You have been a picture, photo person. And I think you sold that to us. We started pushing, and that's why our social media presence has really helped us. So, but I don't need to get that answer. I know you are proud of me.
No, I'm still going to answer anyway. It is just very emotional for me.
Okay.
Because I knew then, I didn't even see Souvenir Republic becoming this big.
Is it big?
I saw the vision. You were so passionate about it. Like, this thing is a do or die affair for me. I saw that, but I didn't just know this is where we were going to get with it. So for the past 5 years, you've been investing, you've been working, you've been doing everything you said you would do. Do you understand? And I love how you've been able to keep up with the family. It does not feel like you are my big brother because I can always talk, I can always share my thoughts, I can always correct you, I can always share ideas. So I feel like our relationship growing up and our relationship growing ourselves, it is even much more better now because we are all grown. It is just about...
You were stubborn. You were stubborn growing up.
I was stubborn.
You snap pictures in front of every house. I never knew you were going to be an influencer.
You should have seen the vision there.
I never saw it. I agree.
But even though I didn't know that this is what I was going to do anyways, I just love taking pictures and documenting. But to be honest, I'm just so proud of you. Like, I can't even imagine how mommy feels or how daddy feels or how your wife feels for me to be feeling this way. Do you understand? Like, if you are like that, that's my brother. So, and that Saturday, did you guys see the crowd? He pulled. Let me not say we
pulled because it's everybody.
But
the success is for everybody.
Yes, but the crowd you pulled that last Saturday when we opened the store, even Instagram people said no say
for my parents, I think they are wild and they listen. People that followed them, that they came with them, maybe they said something to them. And the first time my parents saw that, our parents saw that store. They were like, oh, but it's very that I said, don't worry. God will do it.
That day, I was telling Fade that this store, and we own Raja. Oja on the top.
Yeah, that's grace.
That's yes.
Grace. And we have supporters too. We have backbones. So for my wife, how she feels, my wife is she's not a materialistic person. She's a private person. I'm sure nobody that knows me, maybe pre-SR knows my wife, but now she's a silent person. No social media thing. Oga's wife, and she wants to lounge now.
What people should learn from your story is that it does not have to make sense to anybody as long as it makes sense to you. Do you understand? The whole thing, it didn't make sense to me. It probably didn't make sense to mommy. It didn't make sense to daddy. But the way you just shocked us, I'm like, okay, this is good. So that is one major thing I picked from this whole thing. As long as it makes sense to me, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know, it was challenging for me when I was to take that space, and everybody did not believe. Like, that's a whole lot of money that you can use to buy a building. And I said, I'll go for it. So I saw the vision and I wanted to take the advantage. But you know, at a point when I sleep at night, most times inspiration comes when I'm in the washroom or bathroom. So taking my bath, and I'm like, do you want to renege because of what people think? And I'm like, I must go for this thing. I just called my friend and I said, we are paying for that space. And it's like, and that's it. I said, yes. And what I did just to satisfy my curiosity that I didn't want to fail and I didn't want to take a wrong decision was just so we had to buy another property. So I bought that property and I feel people wanted me to buy property, but I had a vision. So, and that's my vision because I knew there's nothing in the central business district in Ibadan that would have been able to accommodate what we have there. So it's either I rent now, then plan to build something in the future. And for you to get that kind of space, maybe about 2,900 square meters, it's a whole lot of space. So
the space is so big.
So, and it's a challenge. And somebody asked me yesterday, what next? I said, God will direct us.
I'm also looking forward to the what next.
What next? Yeah,
so, God will direct us.
Amen.
Mr. Salam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. And
to everyone,
for watching.
Never quit and never lose focus on whatever you do. Thank you.
Clock it.